humanity survived. Our ancestors have destroyed the world, and we had to pay the price. With over 100 years without sunlight, but we have prepared ourselves for our chance to make things right. They stole from us a life of happiness. Still, we will make the best of it. Even though Mother Earth is grim and tainted, we have managed to survive. And we will keep surviving.
Hello and welcome to our first look at EndZone, a world apart. Okay, what's extras? Play intro? No, back. What have we got here? Play an interrelated tutorial that will teach you all the important aspects of the game or become familiar with certain parts of the game in brief segments. In survival mode, you can configure your game according to your own needs. There are no predefined conditions to win. And then scenarios. Right, tutorial first though.
We finally left the end zone. Just look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had. I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our... Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last... Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them. All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water. The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town.
Huh, okay. Why is this, it's weird. Is it just me or are we missing something? It's also not telling us how to rotate it. Oh, there we go, press R. This is very strange. Okay, so that works. Wait, is that the right way around? That's bizarre. No, I think that's... Is that the right way around? It's not getting detected. Enables settlers to collect water. Requires a cistern or a water tower to store the collected water. Built at waterside. So it does look like the higher side should be towards the land, but no, doesn't seem to want to. How about that? Oh, maybe they are walking towards it. Maybe they need to finish it where it is. Let's see, did they do anything? Yeah, they're doing something. They dropped piles of wood. Yeah, now they're building it.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too. We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Okay. Is there a speed mode? Because they are shocking slow and moving. Where are the... Yeah, they're there. It's just quite slow. Come on, get your hammer out. I mean, the game looks great, has great potential, but something like this, nah, I wouldn't stick around playing this game for long. What is he waiting for? Are they missing materials or something? Like, there's 3 assigned to it, like how... Instruction information. Oh, hold on. There's someone coming. Looks like they're carrying something else this time. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's very unclear as to what a building requires. Oh, here we go. Construction progress. So wood and scrap. So it was wood the first time we saw them carrying, and then scrap the second time. Just doesn't explain that why the movement speed is so slow. Oh yeah, we can increase it here. So there's the carriers that we assigned. Yeah, so they're going to fill up the cistern from the water source. Now it says water produced 50 of 100. What are we at now? So...
Great.
There we go.
We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider high...
You never can have enough water.
Now we can focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already...
Right, okay. Trying to see, can we get, yeah, good position. So, wood, scrap. Where are they coming from? There they go. Speed them up a bit.
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out. Crops are another excellent way of getting food, because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
So, is there a way to see the soil irrigation level, I wonder? Ah, here we go. Not really seeing any kind of a difference there. You would imagine there should be. And then assign a farmer. Seeds from fields chosen. Oh, here we go. Choose seed. And cabbage. Not been found yet. Letting us do cabbage yet for some reason.
Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap wood or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks. In addition, settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Place a gather wood task. Okay. Gather scrap. Scrap produced, wood produced. Not There we
Since
go.
we now own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. Then you don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on.
Okay, that's done.
Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it...
Forester's Lodge. Assign a forester to be in this one. Click on the lodge. There we go. There's 2 on the way. Speed them up. Okay, so clear area, wood, scrap, construction. Ironically, there's no wood apparently that they can't chop down in the area to use, whatever that's about. I can see them running off. There's the 2 of them, you see? They're going back to this kind of like home starter base to get more wood to go back. You would think they would just chop down wood here and use it.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your forester's lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest, which generations to come can use. Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap.
Okay, scrapyard. Question is where to put it. That is potentially scrap there, I think. The fact that it's green. Then again, that green is spreading. Yeah, stick it there for now. Actually, did that plop down? Yeah, now it did. There we go. There's 3. Assign settlers to professional scrap collector. There we go. There's the wood. Off they go again. Look at him go. Okay, what are we at? 7 of 20 produced. Actually, it gives you an indication down here of how much resources are nearby to collect from. Question now is why is it taking them so long?
Great. You can change the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal,
Plastics
plastic,
and electronics.
electronics. We'll do that shortly. Our people want a place to sleep.
Cabins. Okay, cabin. Where are we going to put the cabins? Six, 7, and 8. We turn that off, yeah.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in
Can you
houses
upgrade to the
gradually
model?
fill up the house. Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, 1 resource at a time.
Okay, recycler. Wait a sec, what's this? What's it trying to get my attention to? Oh, okay, gather scrap. And a refiner is that one. There we go. Clout. There we go, it's producing it now.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing.
Alright,
A
so
tailor
tailor. Sign the tailor. There we go. Next scarf. Is that the tailor? Is that Scotty?
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels. No radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect. The tools we...
Okay, recycler 1 of 2 built. There we go, second one up. Produce metal. Refiner is workshop. Go. I wondered, should you wait before actually doing these profession assignments? Because if you increase, are you not taking away from those who are doing the gathering and building? Because I saw this in another game I was playing the other day, Patron I think it was. It had a similar mechanic. Ignition. According to this, what's that? Metal tool. Don't seem to have anyone working there yet. Published, here we go. Oh, yes, yeah.
With our lovely new tools, we are now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands. Down in the EndZone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly, but our children don't have this luxury. Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating. Very good. As you can see, the Gatherer's Cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time. Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut. The orchard has been laid out, and the trees are already beginning to grow. Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. Our gatherer's cabin gathers food from the surrounding forests. However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbal hut. Well done. We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability. It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern. Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal. Good work. We are continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation.
Right, let's zoom in. Sign.
Very good. The decontamination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation. It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time and again.
I think we need to move that.
We're going to mourn them, come what may. But if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let...
Wow, I just read that. In addition, grave diggers gather up tools and protective clothing that is in reasonably sufficient condition for reuse. Oh, got a man down, man down. Actually, that could be a woman by the looks of things. Mortician assigned.
Okay. The cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie
Look at all
ahead.
these people that have got
It's
just
not
dropped.
a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe
Pioneers,
we ought to
exactly.
distract ourselves to lighten up the mood. We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
Okay. Increase confidence in settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. Our best option would probably be to upgrade our town centre. Okay, so that would be this.
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well. Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available. We ought to ensure our settlers' medical health care.
That might help speed a few things up. It's not built yet. It's a bit more wood and scrap. How many people do we have working on that? There we go. Well, our population went up massively and it got 30 not assigned, so might as well give them something to do. Four.
With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family,
Build a shelter. Let's do it. Tempted to build another one down here by this.
very good. Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads.
So how do we calculate that?
I've already pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food.
Hunting lodge. Look. Okay. Another one down there. According to this, we've got 7 or 8 people idle. How is it there's nothing assigned here? There's what looks like an upgrade or a culling symbol on these. Raw venison 0 of 100. There we go. 40, 80,
Perfect.
20.
The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it
So
can
set
be
that one to hunted
indispensable
capture.
during a drought, because
then
even the deer
this one
and
to
wild boar
hunt.
still roam around the forest.
I don't think we saw actually boars on this, did we? I hear them. just can't see him.
However, wild animals can not only be shot, they can be captured too. When a wild animal has
In a
been
pasture.
captured, it can be brought.
Reset to capture option. And then build a pasture. Oh, I meant, yeah. Can't believe we're still in the tutorial and it's over an hour. This game is intense. Loads to do. Or intensive, I mean. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon. Assign a herder. Okay. Assign a type of animal to your pasture.
Animals captured by a hunter are brought to a pasture where they are tended to and cared for by herders. Some animals produce resources such as milk or eggs. Other animals can only be slaughtered to eat. You want to find out for yourself which type of animal brings you which benefit.
Two of
On
this
each
type.
pasture, you can choose which type of animal ought to be kept there.
Is it saying that there isn't two there? Is that the problem? Oh, there we go. I think. Yeah, there is two. Choose the type of animal and click. Choose animal to have the pasture be stocked. Only animals that you already own
You
in your
must
settlement can be
provide
kept on
water for
pastures.
the animals you keep on your pasture. This enables them to survive and reproduce. When enough animals are fully grown, the herder
hold
will
on,
start to
something's
slaughter
happening.
them. If you don't want animals to be slaughtered, you can also instruct the herder not to do so.
Yeah, don't slaughter them. Do we need to wait, I wonder? Still can't click it. I don't know why.
Now your herders know how they ought to handle the animals. And now that you've already captured several animals, don't forget to instruct your hunters to hunt animals again in the future so that they can continue to gather and provide food. With our increased production, our stockpile is going to run out soon. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer, too. To tackle these problems, you ought to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid out.
Right, 2 built dirt road. So we're going to connect this to the other one.
Good. Temporary storerooms increase your settlement's general storage capacity. Place them in a targeted manner in order to shorten the routes for goods between your production buildings. Roads are equally a great benefit because settlers moving on roads can go distinctly faster than on a normal supporting surface.
Okay. Have we got clearance there to put do.
To improve the whole thing even further, we can build a market to improve logistics at the settlement. Besides being an enormous stockpile for resources that is even able to store water, the market is responsible for distributing resources within your settlement. What's more, it also increases your settlers' confidence.
Nope, not finished doing the road. build a road for that while we're waiting.
Logisticians are able to amass resources from the whole settlement and bring them to the market. This improves
Just
the
call
flow
the
of your
market
products
workers. Do
and
not
leads
make
to
up
your
words.
settlers having to walk shorter distances to fulfill their individual needs. The combination of these attributes makes the market the larger your settlement gets, the farther some settlers have to travel to get to all of the food you produce. To make life a little easier for them, you can build a food station. Logisticians who work at the food station will collect
See, how are you supposed to determine where you want to bring this? It's quite annoying. Oh, hold on. What's happened here? Needs ruins. Wait, what? What is all of this? Has it run out of scrap? Is that what that is? I think it is. Let's see, can we... remove road, decline... I should cover all of it anyway. Up that to 4. Maybe 5. Gives me 5 spare. Oh wait, should we just...
With the new food station, your settlers are now able to supply themselves with food directly on site. If your settlement is supposed to grow even further, distributing food at your settlement is going to prove to be extreme.
Actually, Harvey says they not only need food, so they need water too. A water point. So how do we know where we need water points? Put one down. One there. One there. Increase that to 6. Is it just me or is it running out of stuff?
Now that your settlers also have a water point available, they can supply themselves with water and food. Similar to how it's done at the food stations, this enables you to precisely control at which places your settlers are able to attend to their needs.
Well, we need a new scrapyard, so I might as well sort this out now. Oh wow, it's loads.
Since we have our logistics under control, now we can concern ourselves with the weather and its challenges. We can build a weather station to enable us to make a forecast regarding upcoming weather and learn if potentially contaminated rain might be coming our way. It can also be used to prepare our crops and rainwater collectors we might have against contaminated rain by covering them.
So this one we are going to reduce. And in fact, we're going to decommission that one. Because there's no more scrap in here, so it doesn't make sense to... And the same with... That shouldn't really be there anymore. Yeah, the wood... Is there a way to relocate? Oh, there is. Wait, how is there no one here? Water point. That's weird. Right, weather station. Can only be built once. Where are we going to put you, I suppose? Put you there. Oh, they're actually removing the radiation.
Very good. Now that we know what sort of weather awaits us and how we can protect ourselves against contaminated rain by covering our crops and rainwater collectors, we ought to attend to collecting the rain we want. Rain not only humidifies the soil, it can also be automatically collected via rainwater collectors to generate a steady flow of additional water. Since we've already built our weather station, we're able to decide what kind of circumstances would make us want to cover our rain collectors. Never forget that our settlers might get sick if we distribute water contaminated with radiation at our settlement, even if they're wearing protective clothing. We should make sure that the collected water is as purified as possible. We can have our crops covered to shield our seedlings against radiation. But once they've been covered, naturally they won't be irrigated with rain anymore. To rectify this problem, fabulous. As long as our irrigation plant is supplied with filtered water, it is able to neutralize a possible contamination of the soil due to radiation. But watch out. When water contaminated with radiation is fed into the system, this can lead to precisely the opposite. And the irrigation plant itself may possibly cause radioactive pollution of its surrounding area. Alongside contaminated rain, there are other environmental hazards, such as sandstorms or droughts. The soil dries out during a drought, and sandstorms sweep across the landscape from time to time. These sandstorms can damage your buildings and ultimately make them unfit for use. We ought to prepare for this. You can decide which type of task your builders ought to give priority to at our town center. You can instruct them to merely repair. Now that we've taken care of all the necessary needs of our settlement, such as food, water, protective clothing, and tools, our next efforts ought to focus on increasing the settlement's overall productivity. A research station allows us to develop different technologies. One step in moving our settlement ahead is to make it possible for our refiners to acquire electronics from scrap. We should perform research on the appropriate technology to achieve this and instruct one of our refiners to produce electronics.
Nice one. That's finished. Researcher. Do we have enough free people? There's two. Take one of those farmers back. Bring research window. Electronics. Why is it not letting me? Oh, there we go. The right click and drag. Start research. Okay. Recycler unit 304. Let's set it to electronics. Okay. Oncoming drought. Oh, that's not good. Why are they going the whole way around there? I thought there was a road right next to this. Finer. Just go to 4. Recycler needs to make to produce electronics. That definitely says research station research, electronics research, recycler. Oh, it's not finished. That's why. It's not finished doing the research, which is wood and scrap are required. Wonder why does that turn red? Yeah, there is a road there. Are you doing it? Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it. And then once that finishes, this should update with another product to electronics. At least that's what we think it's going to happen.
Very good. With this new research station and the ability to acquire electronics from scrap, we can provide our settlement with all the materials we need. The research station is very useful in enabling us to adapt ourselves to our surroundings by using the right technologies in any situation.
Four refiners and nothing happening.
Down in the EndZone, we dealt with the concept of a solar collector. This solar collector is able to collect sunlight and convert it into electricity. We wanted to try out whether our idea works and build a solar collector.
The whole point of the roads, though, is that they're supposed to go quicker. So where are we missing roads? Why? If that's all that's wrong with them, then we should have most of it covered already.
The solar collector produces energy by capturing sunlight and feeding this energy into a grid. The solar collector also gives us all the relevant information we need to keep an eye on our settlement's power consumption.
Let's see how far. Okay, we're gonna go so far with that one.
Each of your buildings automatically hook up to this power grid when you set up an electric power pole within the building's range. Buildings supplied with electricity work distinctly, more effectively, and produce faster as a result. What's more, housing supplied with electricity increases the confidence of the settlers who use it.
Oh, he wants me to put down electric poles. One thing at a time, lad. Let's move that again. Almost 2 hours and we're still on the tutorial. Okay, this is good. Connect buildings to the power grid. Okay, so where does the power grid actually start? Oh, right. I see it. I see the line now. Can they walk there if I put the pole down on the same path? I can't tell if that's relaying. It looks like it's trying to. Yeah. Let's finish off these roads. Actually, were they actually placed? Yeah, they were. Looks like they were. Connect buildings to power grid 73205. Oh, open the view for electricity. Yeah, that probably would help. Derp. Right, so we went up and over that way. Down pole here. Okay, they are linked. Is there anything not linked? Why is it only 4 of 5 when we've connected more than that? Yeah, see?
Fantastic. I can only picture
Oh, maybe
how
it's
our
just the speed at which
ancestors
they're
must have
building the
felt
poles.
with
Could that be
their
it?
almost. Logically,
probably.
the solar collector is only able to produce energy during the daytime. It would be beneficial if we could also make electricity available at night so that our settlement remains effective. It's clear that we currently work slower at night, so let's try to store the surplus.
There's a good point. Why did it not get us to start with wind turbine first? Because solar is a lot more advanced than wind.
That looks good. Some buildings are now connected to the power grid. Although a well-structured settlement that's hooked up to the power grid consumes a certain amount of resources, it is enormously effective. Oh, and just as an aside, you can have electric power poles put up on many surfaces, even on roads. With the settlement producing on a stable scale, we can now focus on exploring our surroundings. Though we heard a bunch of stories in the EndZone, now we can explore the ruins our ancestors.
Okay, expedition station.
Well done. Assign settlers to be scouts and prepare expedition rations. When you want to send off an expedition, you can decide the quantity of expedition rations with which to supply the expedition. As a result, you can control how long and how thoroughly it is able. Let's send out a few scouts to find a ruin. The scout will visit the ruin you have designated and explore it. As a result, the scout will supply us with important information about... Our scout has returned and brought along a variety of useful information. Now that we know what we have to reckon with, we can put together a team in order to explore the ruin. Each ruin has its own challenges, secrets, and valuable resources. Choose settlers who fulfill the necessary prerequisites for the respective ruin, and give them enough expedition rations to take along. In addition, don't forget to equip them with protective clothing and tools to the best of your ability.
Whoa, there's a lot more detail than I was expecting it to be. So we got farmer, settler. To be honest, I don't know. I'll just pick him and click start. Adapt. Action points. No, wait a minute. Where's the rations? Is that not the rations? Okay. Come here, Dad.
Now that you've commissioned the expedition, it's now in preparation stage. Expedition rations and other necessary resources are being amassed. Afterwards, the settlers you selected will relinquish their old tasks, assemble, equip themselves, and subsequently set off together on their way. Get yourself ready to make tough decisions. Good news. Your expedition has finally reached its destination. Now it's all up to you. Contact them and listen to what they have to say to you. Make wise decisions and guide the settlers through the ruin with meticulous care.
Oh, okay. Off he goes. Lead the expedition. What does that even mean?
Good news. Your expedition has finally reached its destination. Now it's all up to you. Contact them and listen to what they have to say to you. Make wise decisions and guide the settlers through the ruin with meticulous care.
We've arrived at the greenhouse, Chief. I don't know what that scout told you. To us, it just looks like any other ruin scattered around in the wilderness. Not
Can you
very
not fix it
promising.
up, lad?
So, crack on. Good thing we brought along an expert. Some sort of corn grows here. Then we got new seeds. Ah. So what have we got here? Loot at location.
Well done. Your decisions during an expedition are decisive for its success. Try to be as well prepared as possible and make wise decisions because the consequences could be fatal. Now let's loot this place and get out of here. Now that you know how you can help your settlers to manage in this environment so hostile to
Open attractiveness heat map.
In this view, you see which cabins and shelters have been placed in attractive surroundings and which ones are in unattractive surroundings. If you want to make your settlers particularly happy, you should pay attention to providing them with attractive surroundings.
I don't get it. What's wrong with these two, and this one?
To increase the attractiveness of a residential area, you can put up some decorations to beautify your settlement.
Really? We
Each
got more. We need to feed
decoration
people.
increases the
That's more important.
attractiveness of the area.
Decorations. Utter nonsense, this. Wind chimes. Seems to be working surprisingly.
Your settlers are... Although living in a pretty neighborhood isn't the only thing that interests your settlers, they want you to take care of their other needs as well. If you provide them with a forum, they'll make their wishes and requests known to you. You can find out what means a lot to them there.
-2 +1. Look at this fella. What's wrong with you, hey? What are you moaning about? Hedge. Right, that doesn't sort this out. I don't know what will. Oh, hold on, what's going on down here? Okay, game is saving. I can't believe we're over 2 hours, still into the tutorial mode. Right. Well, they seem. Oh, there's a shelter over there I forgot about. Can we stick down something there? Right, that should be enough to get that going for now. That's the sort of thing they kind of should have told us about earlier in the tutorial when we were building the houses. It does kind of feel like they kind of did it a little bit airspace, but anyways, forum. At the forum, decrees can be imposed on the settlement that influence the settlers' behavior. Like, why does it have a radius? Kind of feels pointless, but then again, let's put it there for now. Where on earth have they gone for the scrap? Is there really none at all? Pause that one for a second. Get the scrap yard going so we can designate up here. No, we're still not heading towards it. Yeah, there's a road there, so that's definitely not the issue. Did we run out of people or something? Look at him go, hey. Can we not just move the scrap building? Well, we can see there's at least 2 assigned, but the count is 4, so there's actually 4 circles. Looks like we're just waiting on wood now for the last part. Here we go. Get that hammer out. Oh, look at all this crap that's hidden in beside us. Right, off you go. And for the scrap we need, let's make it 6. There, go back to the forum. Now, where is the other one? The other one was here, wasn't it? Oh, they did actually build it. I didn't realize that. Alright, let's resume this. And we should probably put in temp storage over here as well.
Excellent. Many of your settlers' requests are collected for you at the forum. You ought to check every now and then whether you might be willing to agree to one of those wishes.
Let's put in a road before we forget.
However, the forum is not only responsible for enabling your settlers to turn to you. At the forum, you can address them too. You can issue decrees and establish rules at the forum, stating how your settlers need to behave.
Right. This is where the feudalism starts, huh? Research on an area of technology, resources, logistics, electricity. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. Do we have a quick button to go to the research? Yes, we do. Logistics, warehouse, improved radio mast. Where is resources? Refinery. Employs a lot of refiners who simultaneously separate metal, cloth, plastic, or electronics from scrap. Yes, that looks like it boosts it. Housing, loitering ban. Lure more fish. Actually, you know what? Let's start with that. Have to feed the 5,000 somehow. Activate bird control. Wow.
Many of the decrees are extremely helpful toward enabling the survival of your settlement, though you should watch out that you don't demand too much of your settlers. If you
saying I'm
ask too much
demanding?
of them, it can lead to discontentment spreading throughout your settlement. That's why you always ought to use caution in deciding which decrees you want to impose. Although such a thriving settlement like this one here not only has its advantages, it could be that the attention of prowling raiders is drawn to you, and you'll have to defend yourself against them. First of all,
This
it's
has to be
going
the longest
important to
tutorial
set
I've
up
ever
your own
done.
defenses. An ammunition factory
About
is
the
going
point
to be necessary
past the
to arm
2.5
those
hour
settlers
mark.
who will be
Ammunition factory. So the way I look at it, that green line is the side you want to attach to the road, which is why I'm rotating. I don't know how we're losing people. We haven't actually built a pub yet either, I just realised. Let's take back 2 of those. Where's our technician? Am I going blind or where is it? Back one of those as well. It's probably in front of me the whole time, I just can't see it. Oh, there we go.
very good. It's No matter what type of ammunition you want to have manufactured, one thing can't be missing. Your ammunition factory requires some sulfur for production. Sulfur can be obtained in your mines.
Mining. Yes, we
To
haven't
do
done any
this,
mining yet.
simply instruct your mines to mine sulfur in the future.
Okay, check on research. That's done. Kitchen. Higher quality. Yeah, that sounds good. Now, let's go to a mine. Now, we need to figure out mining resources. See, there's no, I don't think there's a heat map for this, is there? Not really. But that's his mine efficiency 100%. But how can it be 100% if it's not next to an actual... Yeah, can't place it. Hold on a sec. What about... Dash. Oh, that worked. Alright, build a road. Looks like, oh, there's our, okay, so we've gone from down from the 70s into 70s, 67 at the moment. That's not good. How are we losing people? And we need to assign miners as well, so where have we got? Scrap collector. Take one of you back. Technician. That one back as well. Auto carrier, miner. actually, it wants us to make it assign 3. Actually, it looks like. Okay, so one from there. 3 of 5.
Very good, old friend. Now the production of ammunition can get going full steam ahead.
Oh, okay, we just gained 18 people there doing that. 17. How are we losing them? 4. By search. Competition. Hunters. Carrier. Gather, yes.
To be able to give your settlement blanket protection against attackers, the next thing you want to do is to build several watchtowers and assign militia there. Your settlers will fire at raiders from these watchtowers. It will be best if you place your towers in such a way that they don't stand too close to each other, so that your entire settlement can be protected whenever possible.
Okay. Connect them with a road. Dum de dum de dum de dum. Where's the tower over here? That there, I think it is. Oakley dokley. We're good to go. Just waiting for them to finish building, I think. Yeah, there's a watchtower. Assign militia 10. Oh, wrong one. Conscription, I think, for these morticians. And we need one more. Okay, that one's yet to be finished.
Very good. These watchtowers form the center of your defense. At each watchtower, you can individually configure the type of ammunition the militia who have been assigned there are supposed to fire at the raiders. As you can see, the raider forces.
What does he mean, as you can see? I can't see anything. What are you on about? Pay attention to the direction they're coming from. You might have enough time to adapt your defense a bit. I'm going to keep my head down. Really? Could you not just help?
You've said my people are hopeless cases. We were once.
I think I see them.
I took in one and all. Together we are strong. Give us what we need, then no one will get hurt.
Look at how fast they're moving.
It looks as if they were the last raiders, and the settlement's still standing. Well,
We'll rise again.
Repair costs, 2 damaged buildings, ammunition usage. That doesn't seem too bad.
However, in many cases, the raiders won't be paying you a visit just like that, without any advance warning and a reason. Most of the time, they'll demand tribute from you beforehand. If you can pay this tribute, they'll leave you in peace. That is, at least
I'm not going to be ransomware into paying that.
I want you to pay the tribute the raiders are demanding from you.
Those are
So we
nonsense.
can focus on.
Nope. You see the kinds of demands raiders place here. You can decide whether you want to pay them or not. Achievement unlocked. Graduation.
Very good. By doing so, you bought us a little time to be able to prepare.
Exactly.
I think the time has come at last for me to bow out as mentor.
I thought you'd
I've
never
taught
go.
you everything I know, and you've proven yourself by keeping us healthy and in good spirits. I may have taken care of heading our last days in the EndZone, but now all my faith lies with you. I believe that you are going to lead us to a glorious future.
No achievements during further gameplay. Right. That's it. We're going to call it there. Thanks for watching our first look at EndZone. I'll probably do a few more episodes of this as well, of actual normal campaign play. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.